You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. My name is Arya Whitner, and this is your NXT video update for Wednesday, August 16th, 2017. It is the final show before NXT TakeOver Brooklyn Part 3 this Saturday night on the award-winning WWE Network. And this week, the show kicked off with Mr. William Regal standing mid-ring for the semi-annual NXT contract signing. If there's one thing you can commend Mr. Regal for, it's that NXT always has the proper match paperwork filled out and signed ahead of time. Anyway, this particular contract signing was for the upcoming women's title match, as Ember Moon will once again challenge the undefeated, undisputed, reigning, defending NXT Women's Champion Asuka. Ember told Asuka that she has had an incredible journey here in NXT and has been the most dominant champion in all of WWE, stating that Asuka's undefeated streak has even surpassed Goldberg, which led to the crowd chanting Asuka in the same manner. Ember finally brought up that Goldberg, it'd been weird if Goldberg cheated to beat her. Ember finally brought up that Asuka cheated to beat her back at NXT TakeOver Orlando. She also blamed Asuka for her shoulder injury for taking her out of the TakeOver Chicago 4-way. Ember then got irate and said that she refuses to be a victim, and due to Asuka's shortcuts, Ember has gotten better. She vowed to end Asuka's undefeated streak and become the next NXT Women's Champion. Asuka smiled at Ember before stating something in Japanese. I don't speak Japanese, but I'm pretty sure it was something to the effect of, "I will win." And both ladies walked off without any violence. Some people need to take their cue from these ladies, not getting into a big brawl at their contract signings. And here's some random trivia for you. This Saturday, Asuka will be at 504 days as NXT Women's Champion, which surpasses Rockin' Robin's 502 days as WWF Women's Champion, and this makes Asuka the longest reigning champion of any championship recognized in the WWE since Hulk Hogan's 1984 WWF title reign. Yes. Earlier today, William Regal was backstage and confronted by Lars Sullivan. Lars said that he knows he's been bad in the past, but promises to be good if Mr. Regal gives him one more tag team match. William reminds him that his partner could lose, and Lars promised to be a good boy this time, so Mr. Regal acquiesced. And that led to our first match of the evening, as Lars Sullivan found the smallest and geekiest person he could find in the form of Chris Silvio to take on the Street Profits. Sullivan wanted to start the match, but when the bell rang, Silvio dashed across the ring and got punched in the face by Angelo Dawkins, which apparently makes him the legal man. Montez Ford marked out for that punch to the face so hard that he ran into the crowd and celebrated before returning to the ring. The Profits did not allow Silvio to tag out, and then they pinned him after their sky-high frog splash combination. Lars lived up to his promise by not destroying his partner in the ring, so he literally picked up Silvio, carried him outside the arena, and threw him into the trash bin. Up next, Billie Kay versus Ruby Riott. If you recall, this match was set up last week when Billie and Peyton Royce were going to do a makeup tutorial, but they were distracted by Ruby Riott randomly walking by and thus never got to finish their tutorial. Billie and Peyton were fooling around at the start of the match, so Ruby had enough of their offbeat shenanigans and used a series of roll-ups for 1 counts. Billie finally took over with a kick to the head. She used Gail Kim's Eat Defeat at one point, but it only got a 2 count, which Billie could not believe. Riott made her comeback, which led to Peyton trying to interfere. Unfortunately for the iconic duo, Ruby kicked Peyton off the apron and kicked Billy in the head and picked up the victory. After the match, Peyton got on the microphone and declared that Ruby got lucky, but even though she was lucky, she will never be iconic. Ruby didn't seem to care and just walked off. Alrighty, this Saturday at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, Johnny Gargano will return as a singles competitor at TakeOver to take on Andrade Cien Almas. Hideo Itami will go one-on-one with Aleister Black. Sanity will challenge the undefeated Tag Team Champions, the Authors of Pain, for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Ember Moon will get her shot at Asuka and try to dethrone the Empress of Tomorrow, try to get the NXT Women's Championship, and end the 504-day title reign of Asuka. And finally, of course, for the NXT Championship, the glorious champion Bobby Roode defends against Drew McIntyre. All that led into a very nice video package talking about the tag team title match on Saturday. And that then led to our main event, Drew McIntyre versus Roderick Strong. Now, in case you forget the stipulations, or in case the stipulations confuse you, if Roderick Strong can defeat Drew McIntyre tonight, then at some point in the future, Strong will get a match against Bobby Roode. However, win, lose, or draw, Drew McIntyre is still the number one contender and will still face Bobby Roode this Saturday for the title. Strong came out at the bell quick until Drew kicked him in the stomach and then used a deadlift to release Suplex on his smaller foe. They fought outside the ring. Strong took a running start at McIntyre, but Drew hoisted him into the air and sent him into the ring post. Strong honestly didn't even sell for very long as he dropped McIntyre with a backbreaker on the ring apron, which, if you forget, the ring apron is in fact the hardest part of the ring. Strong actually got most of the offense here, with McIntyre having to fight back from underneath. So Drew started his comeback, which featured both men booting each other in the face. McIntyre went for the Claymore, but Strong kneed him in the face and dropped him with another backbreaker. Strong put McIntyre in the Tree of Woe and looked to be setting up the Alberto Del Rio double foot stomp, when suddenly the NXT champion Bobby Roode ran in from out of nowhere. He shoved Strong off the top rope and began attacking McIntyre as the referee called for the bell, declaring this a no contest. Roode slammed Strong outside the ring and then dropped McIntyre inside the ring with a glorious DDT. And the show ended with Roode standing over both of his rivals, holding his championship belt high in the air. So that does it for this week. I will be back on Saturday with some takeover audio after the show ends. Thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to you again Saturday night.
You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.